What's up YouTube, Jay Traveling here. Today I wanted to talk about Nvidia relaunching a 1050 Ti. So with all the struggles to get GPUs, I guess they had a lot of chipsets laying around, or somebody did. So they're actually putting the 1050 Ti back out for sale. So going to Microsoft noted discontinued pretty much all 20 series and 10 series, but the MSRP for this is supposedly going to sit around $139 USD. So that's what I read in one article. I'll show you another one where these actually did hit the market in China and how much they were going for. But this is just another way for them to try and get GPUs in the people's hands. Now the 1050 Ti, in my opinion, wasn't a terrible gaming card. It worked fairly well for somebody that was on a tight budget and that was just going to game at 1080p. It wasn't going to yield you super high refresh rates. We'll get in the game and hold over 60 frames per second in most games. So let's go in and check this one article out on where it dropped in Japan. Alright, so there's two articles from Tom's Hardware, and this one came out 18 days ago. Now I'm a little late to really reviewing it. But this is a 1050 Ti pretty much being released, and that they're talking about it. And some of the specs are 4 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory. So GDDR5 with 4 gigabytes. Obviously, from a mining perspective, most people aren't going to be buying this card. It can't mine Ethereum pretty much unless you use a zombie mode, which then it's going to pretty much crush the hash rate anyway. And you know, my P106s, I yield anywhere between 5.5 to 6 megahash a second on Raven. So I can't really see this doing much better on Ravencoin than that, maybe hitting 5 megahash a second, and that's just me speculating. So that really doesn't make this card worth it to buy, especially with what they're saying down here when it originally released at $139. But if you look at what they were estimating it to release for in Japan for 2,727 yen, which is equivalent to $197.97. So you're looking at almost a $200 graphics card here. So $200 each just to mine something like Ravencoin wouldn't be worth it in my opinion. You know, I'd want to get something that can mine a little bit better, a little bit faster if I have to pay more money. I'm a little skeptical why they picked the 1050 Ti also, and not like you're saying here the 1060s, which performed a lot better. I guess because 1060s might be picked up by miners being 6 gigabyte graphics cards. I mean, they did have the 3 gigabyte version, but the 6 gigabyte card was definitely a better gaming card and still yielded you some pretty high frames per second in most games. I still have it in a few PCs and it's still pretty decent. This article came out 6 days ago where it actually did drop in Japan already, and they said it would cost 22,800 yen, which came to $210 US with tax. So you're looking at the card being a $210 card. One good thing about these is a lot of these don't require too much power, so some of them don't even need external PCI power to get the power right straight from the motherboard. There are other ones that, you know, probably wanted to be overclocked a little bit more with better cooling on them that did require like an 8-pin or 6-pin. But we're looking at pretty much a 1050 Ti being a $200 graphics card MSRP. Now, I do think that these will be able to get purchased. I don't think a lot of people will be buying them, so I think when they do hit the stores, they're going to be sitting there for a little bit. I don't think it's really going to help the 3000 series cards as far as sales, though. I don't think it's going to help keep them on the shelves. So looking at these articles, you know, it's dropped in Japan, so it's looking at $210 GPU. I don't know. I couldn't find a release date for the US. I don't know when it's actually going to come out. I'm assuming within the next month or so. But at $200, you know, for someone that's putting together a budget gaming PC, this is a good card. But for somebody that's looking to either, you know, get high refresh rates or start crypto mining, I don't really see this being good. So the good side for gamers is I don't see a lot of crypto miners, or if any, purchasing this GPU or really looking to purchase this GPU. I do see scalpers trying to get their hands on it on the first couple rounds, though, to try and inflate the price a little bit. If you look at 1050 Ti's and 1060s and 1070s selling right now, they're selling for premium prices. But with a brand new 1050 Ti's coming on the market, depending on how much they can get out on the first drop, I can see some scalpers trying to make a quick $100 or $200 on this GPU. I really don't see people paying more than $400 for his graphics. If you're paying more than $400 for his graphics card, you're pretty much insane, really desperate at that point. But you know, I see why Nvidia is doing this, especially if it's not costing them much to produce, if they had the chipsets already, or if it's just that cheap for them to produce it, to get another graphics card out just to try and help this shortage that we're in. But like I said, I don't think this is going to help our 3000 GPU shortage. I still think it's going to be hard to get 3060s and 3070s and definitely 3080s. I think 3090s will be a little bit easier to get with that huge price tag. Not as many people want to buy them as others. And from a crypto mining perspective, you're better off with a 3080 than a 3090. Most of crypto miners really want 3080s over anything, and 3060 Ti's, and of course 3070s. From a gaming perspective, though, 3070 is probably your best bet. Unless you can get your hands on 3080, I think it's just a pretty beastie card. But as far as this 1050 Ti, I don't see it really helping that market at all. I think that market's still going to be pretty crazy for a little while. Hopefully within the next 6 months we can see it stabilize out, but it's not really looking too hopeful with everything that's going on. They're still struggling to get shipments, and every time I check shipment info for my local micro center, when I can, I notice the shipments getting smaller and smaller. Obviously it fluctuates a little bit, but before I was noticing some like drops where they get pretty much 80 GPUs in one day. Now I'm lucky to see if there's like 20. I think in the past month the biggest one was a 42 graphics card drop, and they were sold pretty fast. You still have a lot of people camping out for those cards. But the 1050 Ti, I don't see people camping out for. I doubt, I'm probably not going to personally get one unless I can get one really cheap to try out on Raven Coin or something. But if I compare it to like a 1650, which is a better card, I mean, I don't really see it outperforming that. And that didn't really fare too well in my tests when it came to mining. It was definitely profitable in this market. You'd make some money, but your turnaround time, if I had to guess about your ROI on that card, it would probably be like 7 or 8 months, maybe even a little bit longer, just because I just don't see it being as efficient. Power-wise, it doesn't pull a lot of power, but I just don't see it being a good mining card. But like I said, gaming, I can see it being suitable for most people. People have been gaming on that and still gaming on that GPU for a long time now, and I think some people will still buy it. I don't know about pre-builds if they're going to be putting them in there. I think they're going to stick to the 3060s and up, and maybe even something a little along the lines like a 1650 Super you might see pop up in a pre-build every once in a while. But I think they're going to stick to the 3000 series cards and up, because I don't think anyone in their right mind should be buying a pre-built with a 1050 Ti in it in 2021. But you know, I'd like to see your guys' thoughts on this release of the 1050 Ti. If anyone plans on getting it, somebody plans on mining with it, what coin they plan to mine with it. But, you know, thanks for checking this video out. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more.